college. They didn't even graduated from college. They were grown. 3, why would she lie about it being her house? 4, why did the boy say she went home? And remember when I said I kept getting lost because I didn't know the area? Once I went back to look through the messages that I had with those girls to see if there was anything fishy going on, I noticed that they were all sending me different addresses. Their one number would be off or a letter would be off. They definitely were planning something because they were trying to get me there late. I haven't seen or talked to those girls since then. I am going to be telling you a scary childhood story. When I was 2 years old, my mom passed away. My dad wasn't in the picture, so I went to go live with my grandparents. My grandparents lived in a super old home that was built in the 1800s. I was a very imaginative child. So, when I told my grandparents that I used to see people in the house, they just didn't believe me. There was one lady in particular that I would always see. She would sit at the end of my bed and watch me fall asleep. I wasn't scared of her because I thought she was an actual person. Plus, I was super little, so nothing even crossed my mind. At this point, I was like 4 or 5 years old. I remember her talking to me constantly. She even sang me the song Rockabye Baby to get me to go to bed one night. Every single day when I would get home, I could see her in my window. At that point, I thought she was just waiting for me. She just wanted to be my friend, right? But as I got older, things started to get really weird between me and her. She wasn't this nice lady anymore. Stay tuned for part 2. This is part 2 of the lady in my room who would sing me lullabies to get me to go to bed. No one else in my family could see her. She even told me that she was my mom. I really believed her. If you remember, my mom passed away when I was 2. So, it seemed pretty real that it was my mom. I didn't really remember what my mom's face looked like when she passed away. And this lady, could be my mom. She continued to sing me lullabies every single night when I would go to bed. She would always be waiting for me in the window when I would get home from school. But I figured out pretty quickly it wasn't my mom. My mom was a sweet, kind-hearted person. This spirit was evil. She would get mad at me every single time any of my friends would come over. She told me she could see my future and that I was going to go to hell after I died in a car accident. It scared me so much, but no one believed me. It got to the point where I never even wanted to go in the car because I thought I was gonna die. She convinced me I was evil. Stay tuned for part 3. This is part 3 of the lady who used to sing me lullabies to get me to go to bed. This spirit was evil, and she started to convince me that I was evil too. She convinced me that I would go to hell because I was a horrible child, even though I wasn't. She convinced me that every single person in my life hated me. She even started to control my dreams, and I'd wake up every single night screaming at the top of my lungs from a night terror, and she would be sitting at the end of my bed. This went on for years. When I turned 9, my grandpa passed away. And because it was a really big house, me and my grandma moved to a different house. And the evil spirit was just gone. I never saw her again. But was she really gone? When I was 15, I went to a psychic. The moment I walked into the room, she could feel a dark energy enter the room. She told me that someone was following me every single step I took. And when she said that, I knew exactly what she was talking about. After that, I went to a medium, and after many sessions with her, the dark presence was finally gone.
Hi, this is a story from when I was like 6. Please keep me anonymous. It was after school on a Friday. I was in my bedroom playing with my Barbies, and Ken was cheating on Barbie with Princess Tiana. My sis, who is 5 years older than me, said, "Don't play like that. How do you even know about cheating?" So I said, "That's for me to know and for you to find out." She said back, "I'm telling mommy." I said, "So what?" And I got into big trouble. Then I decided I wanted to get back at her, so I annoyed her, and she hit me on my face. I smiled at her, and then I started to scream and cry. I lay on the floor, and my mother came running out of the study and said, "OMG, what happened, honey?" I told her I was playing with my sis and she hit me. Then I forced out more tears. Then my sister got grounded in a whooping. I don't feel bad at all. Then benefits of being the youngest sibling, lol. This is a story of how my bestie got catfished by my dad. Okay, so me and my bestie were looking at an app, then we see a hot dude. My bestie instantly falls in love. After 5 months of chatting and calling, they decided to meet up. As her best friend, I had to go with her. I sat 2 tables away. Then I see my dad dressed up like he was going to a wedding and asked, "Is this Sandy?" My heart dropped and I laughed. When I said I laughed so hard I fell out of my chair. Almost the whole restaurant looked at me. Even the workers. I told my mom and she kicked him out. Story time. One time I was at a sleepover with my friends. Let's call them Kayla and Emily. We were on Omegaland because we were stupid. Emily decided to kiss me for an old man. Little did she know I had a big crush on her. Now she's my girlfriend. Story time. In 2nd grade it was Valentine's Day and we were eating candy and went to recess. Of course we can't take candy outside, so we had to eat it. I had a ring pop and so I ate it really fast so it breaks. And it's really big and I swallow it, start chalking in line, and I didn't want to die, so I stomped on the floor as hard as I could and moved out of the line so my teacher could see, and so she said, "What's wrong?" And I pointed to my throat while stomping, and so she found out what happened because I had a ring pop in my hand with no pop on it. And so she told teachers to get a trash can in the hall. She brought me in the hall while the kids were in the room and started doing the Heimlich on me, and you threw up with a pop in it and couldn't talk much too. Outside and people were gathering by me asking, and I said my throat hurts. I felt like I almost died. Story time on how I knocked out the guy who broke into my school. I was in year 8. I was sitting in class, then the alarm went off. Me and my friend were screaming off. The teacher was like, "Everyone blinds down in the corner now." I screamed at my classmate, "Get down, you idiot." The man heard us and came to our classroom. The door opened because he kept it down, so technically, he broke it. I saw a fire extinguisher in the corner of my eye. I grabbed it and the man was screaming at us. He had a knife. I was behind him. My class was screaming and looking at me. The guy was like, "What the F you all screaming at? I'll kill you all." And I ran up behind them, smashed the fire extinguisher over the man's head. It went bong, and he fell. He was knocked out and the police got there in time to get him. I was so proud of myself, lol. Story time about how I cheated on my boyfriend because of a dare. So I started dating this guy. I'll call him Johnny, not his real name, but anyway, he told me that he liked me, and then I kind of got feelings for him. The next week he asked me to date him. OFC, my brain thought, why not? I kind of have feelings for him, so then I said okay. That night after my band lesson, by the way, I play clarinet, I went home. We started talking because he gave me his number at school. All of a sudden that B says, "Sorry to break your heart, but it was a dare." A month after that, he got actually feelings for me. I didn't have any for him, but we started dating. Again, I had feelings for this other guy. We'll call him Jeffrey, also not his real name, but anyways, so I asked him out. OFC, he said yes. Then 2 weeks after we started dating, keep in mind I'm still dating Johnny, and yes, Jeffrey knows about my plans moving, and I leave my phone on the counter like every night, hoping Johnny will go through my phone. That dirty little rat went through it, read all of my texts, looked at all of my calls, and I'm in the shower. He comes and knocks on the bathroom door. I said, "Come in." Then a few minutes later I said, "Need anything, honey?" He has my phone in his hands, then throws it in the shower at me and says, "Don't ever call me honey, babe, or anything like that. We're over forever. You're a..." Pika Popcorn has censored this sentence. I got a new phone and I am still with Jeffrey. We have 3 kids now and we're as happy as can be. This is the story of how I found out someone liked me, but I didn't confess that I liked him back. So this was around when I was 7, yes, very young. I was in elementary school eating and someone asks, let's call him Alan. So, someone asks Alan who he likes, which he replies, my name. I was in shock, so I said, Alan, stay silent. I told him I liked someone else, which was a lie. But I only denied it because I was only 7. Story, how I almost got kidnapped while babysitting. So when I was 14, I was really bored, so I decided to get a well-paying job on the side while in school. One day I had to babysit this particularly rich family. Oh yeah, it was also night. Also, my parents weren't so happy with what I was doing. So back to the story. I was looking after them making dinner in the kitchen. Window was open and I heard breathing. I have watched many stories off channels and I knew I was not paranoid. I didn't close the window just in case. Something jumped and I saw a scary, creepy person. I grabbed the kids and went into the parents' bedroom. I locked the door. I had heard footsteps coming up the stairs. I thought this was the end, but I heard, "Put your hands up," and that's when I realized the police were there. The police got here by tracking the guy. They had put a tracker on him because they knew he was not trustworthy. He had escaped from a prison nearby and had been charged with assault and kidnapping children. When the parents came, I quit my job then and there. It was better safe than sorry. Here is the story of how I could have died or gotten really sick. So one day I was just in my room and my 15 years old cousin comes in my room and says, "Nothing fancy